Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to Kingdoms Reborn. We are moving on up. We have 55 people in our town, and, well, we've got some beer production going. We're very soon going to be able to get some bonuses for having that much beer in everyone's house, so let's get rid of cooperative fishing and put in a beer tax, immediately nearly doubling our monthly income, which is nice. We can use that to buy wood when we inevitably run out again, and, you know, it should be a good use of our available resources. We need more wood than we have, and we need to build houses with it. So we have 59 population out of 54. Some of our level 3 houses are getting downgraded as we run out of tulips. So we're losing population space from those as well. And if we have more population than housing space for too long, I think it's maybe a season or two, we will lose people. It's just how that goes. If there's nowhere, it turns out people like having a place to live, who would have thought. Sustainability book is going to go for the beer brewery, and I'll show you exactly why. So right now we're converting 7 wheat into 6 beer. This book makes that 4 wheat into 6 beer, which, especially in the early bottleneck type parts of the game, but even really when you look at the greater food economy here eventually, is really crucial. So later on you'll be turning wheat into flour, into bread, and each one of those steps you gain a little bit, right? So you get more wheat flour out of it than wheat that you put in terms of bread making capabilities. You get more bread than you put in wheat flour, and you can turn a little bit of wheat into a lot of food. But before you get to that point, you need to really conserve your wheat. You really need to really pay attention to that and make sure that you're not going to starve out of trying to make too much beer, which, not saying I've done that before. I'm also not denying that I've done that before because, well, yeah, I've definitely done that before. So we want our forester to be right in the smack dab center of this, because we're not going to be really producing much here. This is just a give me a wood supply, and oh, I should have made that put to the other side. Oh well. Let's give me a food supply, and I will give you a couple workers to sustain it. We will eventually need to probably build through here, getting around to that nice heavily wooded area on the upper left. But before that, we'll need the farms from expanding to our lower right. So for right now, this can be underdeveloped, and then eventually we'll move our wood gathering farther down and start building up industry in that location. One step at a time, it'll be alright. Our main concern right now is that as our population grows and we haven't been making more farms, our food production is going to start lagging behind, and that's going to be a big problem. So we do need some more wood, so I will spend a little bit of money on wood, as much as I can get, which, okay, no, it's not enough to make it worthwhile. We're just gonna have to hope for, yeah, people are leaving because they're homeless, it's okay. Immigration offices will bring people in occasionally, and that sort of offsets that loss. It's also a nice way, if you're house capped, of making sure that you don't outstrip your food supplies. So for example, if I know I can only sustain 50 people a year off of my current farms, which probably isn't too bad of an estimate right now, then I don't want to go up to 60 people because, well, they'll starve and die, and it's a false inflation of the economy. It'll end up causing more problems than it'll fix in the long run. We do still have wood allocations going to some buildings, and that's why we don't have any in the stockpile. That'll be done as soon as this brewery is set up, and we're running out of stone. I thought I had good queries. Do. Okay, improved shift here. We need the stone for our stone tools, which I guess we should start selling a couple of those. If we take a look, so every good has different prices, and we make much more selling stone tools than we do by selling, say, wheat or anything like that. So let's sell 90 of them. I don't want to go through our whole stockpile, but we are stocking up faster than we're using them because it seems like our workers are preferentially using the good iron tools. Not exactly what I wanted, and to get around that, we will go ahead and burn through some of them ourselves, upgrading our fishing launches. I know I said these were kind of a trap, and they are, but, well, we need every advantage we can get, and a little bit of extra fish is an advantage, however slight. We do also need more stone for our beer breweries. That's why I did the stone upgrade from the first quarry. Things are going to start speeding up a little bit here, I think, particularly as we solve our wood problem. Yeah, well, when we're getting a lot of wood, it won't be too big of an issue. We're just building a couple houses and the forester to get things on track. Other forester upgrades, tree cutting techniques is nice, but 140 stone so early on is quite demanding. I'm not sure we can afford it. Particularly because we're in midsummer, we need to get all this stuff allocated and built before the winter so we can build up a stockpile of wood for that season. In terms of saving up money, we're going to try to cross the river. It increases the price, but we need more farms, and this section down here to the south, I think, is where we should go for that, because we can already make a farm here. Probably should have already. I'm not going to do it now because it will take wood. But this entire section can be turned into a wheat farm, and then we can cross the river and get some farming going there. That'll give us a shorter path to industry for using this part of the river for clay and pottery and such things. First, though, we are going to upgrade our town hall. This unlocks a couple cards. It also gives us, ooh hey, 30% protection for beer, which is nice. Unlocks influence points, which are a nice thing to have eventually for the late game modifier stacking type phase. And we don't need anything from here. Let's try passing. Buy wood. Good. So this is buy wood for half your treasury for 6 coins. The price isn't great, but it's immediate, and it can keep you from freezing pretty well. And the reason we did this is we're going to get the homebrew card eventually. I think we're going to sell... Oh, we need a charcoal burner. Just go ahead and buy wood. Fair enough. That'll increase our stockpile enough. We can get everything allocated. And then we can get... So I need a storage yard here. Apologies. There we go. Nice big storage yard. Keep all that lumber we're going to be getting. We're going to be getting homebrew as well, so we'll keep an eye on the science production once we get that card. Right now we're getting about 76. Some of that's from house luxury, some of that's from base house production, and we don't have enough beer, by the way, because if we did, well, we'd be building up in the stockpile. So some of that's to be expected when you first build a luxury resource, because everyone has 0. Naturally, this means that we need to, well, make more. But if we were making enough, we would be able to have some in our stockpile to sell. Okay, so that aside, let's try homebrew. So we're getting 78.1. Add this card in and close out. Come on. Why is that not doing anything? Oh, it's pottery. It's not beer, it's pottery. Turns out beer and pottery are 2 different things. Well, this is a good excuse to get a clay pit and a potter going. Pottery is a second tier 1 luxury, so that'll help us get to level 3 houses as well. And our food seems to be doing okay-ish enough to justify that. We have 14 laborers. Couldn't ask for better, although I will go up to more builders just so we can get the forester done quickly. Still, wood production is a little low. I'm not sure I love that, but I think that's okay. So, you know, accidental, not important upgrade, but could be worse. I think we'll call it here for now. Thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.